students, so this is Roshni from Learner Hub and I am back with the fourth video of the video series on quadrilaterals class 8th maths, and in this video we are going to learn about some special types of quadrilaterals. So this is a very special video and an important one too. So we will learn about square, rhombus, rectangle and also properties related to them. Now trust me guys, this is a very important video, so please do watch the entire video.
Let us now look at some of the special parallelograms. So we already discussed a lot about parallelograms, but these are some special parallelograms with some special features. So the first one that we would discuss is a rectangle. So how is a rectangle a special parallelogram? So this is such a parallelogram where all the angles are equal. So they have equal angles. All the four angles are equal, because normally in a parallelogram their opposite angles are equal. But in a rectangle all angles are equal. Now since all angles are equal, so do you know how much would be the value of each angle? Obviously 90 degree, because let's assume that each angle is x. Now there are four angles, so the total sum would be 4x. But we know that in a parallelogram the sum of the interior angles is 360. So from this we would get x is equal to 360 by 4, which is nothing but 90 degrees. Therefore all the angles in a rectangle is equal to 90 degrees. Now in a rectangle this is like the only possible shape that you would get, because all the angles should be 90, but when it comes to the sides are not necessarily equal. So their opposite sides are equal, which is again a property of parallelogram, but not all sides are equal. The next special parallelogram that we would discuss is a square. Now in square we have equal angles like rectangle. They also have equal sides. That means all sides are equal, all angles are equal. That is why square is an example of a regular quadrilateral or a regular polygon, because here all sides and all angles are equal. So here also each angle is equal to 90 degree and all the sides are equal. The next special parallelogram is a rhombus. Now rhombus, the speciality of rhombus is that it has equal sides but not equal angles. So all the sides are equal like square, but all angles are not equal. So basically if you see, square is like a combination of both rectangle and rhombus. Rectangle has all equal angles, rhombus is all equal sides, and square has both the features. It has all equal angles, it also has all equal sides. So square is like a combo of both rectangle and rhombus. So these are the special parallelograms that we are going to discuss now. So let us start with rectangle. Now let's look at the properties of rectangle. Now here in rectangle, as I said, the important properties are all angles are equal and each of them is equal to 90 degree. Opposite sides are parallel and equal. That means this side, if this is a rectangle A, B, C, D, in this case opposite sides are equal. That is AB is equal to CD and AD is equal to BC. Diagonals bisect each other. So the second property of rectangle is that the opposite sides are parallel and equal, which is a property which is common to the parallelogram. Diagonals bisect each other. That is again a property which is common with parallelogram. And in fact, because of these properties only, a rectangle is a parallelogram. Now another special property of rectangle is that the diagonals are equal. So this is again a property which is special to rectangle, which was not present in parallelogram. Their diagonals are equal and the other property is all angles are equal. So we will try to prove only these two properties which are special in case of rectangles. So let us start with this property. We will try to prove that how diagonals are equal in case of a rectangle. So for that we have considered a rectangle. Let's name it as A, B, C, D. So this is a rectangle. The diagonals are AC and BD. Now let us consider two triangles. Let's consider triangles ABD and triangle ABC. That is this triangle and this triangle. So these are the two triangles that we consider. Now in these two triangles we find that angle A is equal to angle B because both are equal to 90 degrees. We also find that AB is equal to AB, which is a common side. We also find that AD is equal to BC, that is this side is equal to this side because opposite sides are equal in case of a rectangle. Now with all these three in place, we find that triangle ABD is congruent with triangle ABC. By which congruency? This would be by SAS, that is side angle side congruency. Now since these two triangles are congruent, this triangle and this triangle, now when I say this triangle, it is this entire triangle. Therefore we can say that BD would also be equal to AC because BD is one side of this triangle and AC is one side of triangle ABC. Therefore, BD will be equal to AC. And what are BD and AC? BD and AC are nothing but the diagonals. So we have actually proved that the diagonals are equal in case of a rectangle. Let us now look at a square. Now a square has a property that all sides are equal. So this is the special property of the square which makes them special. So their all sides are equal. They have all angles equal, very similar to rectangle. They have all diagonals equal, which is again very similar to rectangles. Diagonals bisect each other, so which is again a common property of both rectangle as well as parallelogram. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. This is again a new property in a square, that their diagonals are perpendicular to each other. That means, let's say this is the diagonal, so the diagonal bisected definitely. So this part is equal to this part. At the same time, this angle is 90 degrees. So these angles are 90 degrees. So that's again a special property of a square. So let us try to prove this special property. That let's see how diagonals are perpendicular bisected of each other. So here we have considered a square ABCD. So let us draw the diagonals like this. So let us assume that the point where the diagonals bisect each other is O. So what do we want to prove here? So we are trying to prove that angle COD is equal to 90 degrees, angle BOC is equal to 90 degrees. So all these angles are 90 degrees. That is what we are trying to prove here. So how do we prove that? Let's see. Here again we consider two triangles. Now which triangles are we going to consider now? So we can now, since we want to prove that this angle is 90, this angle is 90, let's try to consider these two triangles. That is triangle COD and triangle BOC. So in these two triangles, we see that CD is equal to CB because all sides in a square are equal. So squares have equal sides. Again, OC will be equal to OC, which is common. So this is OC. So this is going to be the common side. And then DO is equal to BO. Now while DO is equal to BO, that's because as a property of parallelogram itself, we know that the diagonals bisect each other. So because of that, DO will be equal to BO. Now considering these three relations, we can say that triangle COD is congruent with triangle BOC by side congruency, SSS congruency. Now since these two triangles are congruent, therefore we can say that angle COD will be equal to angle BOC. So we have proved that this angle is equal to this angle. But at the same time, we can see that these two angles together form a straight line. That means angle COD plus angle BOC is equal to 180 degree. That is very clearly seen in the figure because both of them form the diagonal and the diagonal is a straight line. Therefore, we can say that angle COD will be equal to angle BOC will be equal to 180 degrees by 2, which is equal to 90 degree, and this is what we wanted to prove. Thus, we have proved that diagonals in a square are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Now let us talk about the last type of special parallelogram, which is a rhombus. Now in rhombus, when it comes to the properties, all sides are equal, but all angles are not equal. So in a way it is similar to square, in a way it is similar to and it's not similar to square. Diagonals bisect each other in this case, like the same property as parallelogram, but the diagonals here are not equal. However, the diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. Now, this property is similar to square, because here in like square, a rhombus also has all its sides equal. Therefore, here diagonals are also perpendicular bisector. However, we will prove this, that how can we prove that the diagonals in a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors. So for that, we have considered this rhombus A, B, C, D. Let's draw the diagonals. Let's consider this point where the diagonals meet as O. So what do we want to prove here? So we want to prove that angle DOC is equal to 90 degree. So that's what we want to prove. So for that, again, we will consider two triangles. So let us consider triangle AOD, that is this triangle, and angle COD, so this and this triangle. So we will follow a very similar approach like how we did in case of a square. So triangle AOD and triangle COD. So in these two triangles, we find that AD is equal to CD, because in rhombus we have equal sides. Next we have OD is equal to OD, which is a common side. We also have AO is equal to CO. That's because the diagonals bisect each other, which is a property of parallelogram. So considering these 3 points, we can say that triangle AOD is congruent with triangle COD. Now since, and by which congruency? SSS congruency. Now since these two triangles are congruent, therefore their corresponding sides and angles will also be equal. Therefore we can say that angle AOD will be equal to angle COD. That is, this angle will be equal to this angle. But at the same time, we see that angle AOD plus angle COD together form a straight line, which is 180 degrees. Therefore, we say that angle AOD is equal to angle COD is equal to 180 degrees by 2, that is 90 degrees. So that's how we prove that the diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other in a rhombus. So with this learning on the special parallelograms, let us again look at a few questions. Question number 1. State whether true or false. All rectangles are squares. So that is a false statement, because the rectangles, they have all angles equal, but all of their sides are not equal. But in order to become a square, all the sides need to be equal. So all rectangles are not squares. All rhombuses are parallelograms. Yes, of course, because rhombus has all the properties that a parallelogram has. In fact, rhombus has a few special properties, but it satisfies all the properties of parallelogram. For example, a parallelogram wants that the opposite sides should be equal and parallel. So that's true for rhombus. It is just that in rhombus, not only the opposite sides are equal, all sides are equal. So that is like an additional thing, but it satisfies the properties of parallelogram. All squares are rhombuses and also rectangles. Now squares, they have all sides equal. So you pick up any square, that square will satisfy all the properties of a rhombus. Now a rhombus wants all the sides to be equal. A square has all sides equal. A rhombus wants all the properties of a parallelogram. The square satisfies that in a rhombus. Now you might say, but in a rhombus all angles are not equal. But rhombus never says that if the angles are equal, then it will not be a rhombus. That's not the case. In a rhombus, even if the angles are not equal, if the angles are also equal, then it will become a square. But if the angles are not equal, then it becomes a rhombus. So basically all squares are rhombus, but all rhombus are not squares. Similarly, all squares are rectangles, because square is again a special case of rectangle where this all sides are equal. But again, all rectangles are not square. So these are certain things which you really need to think, analyze, and then understand. So I am just speaking. Just by listening to it, you might not be able to understand. So just try to analyze it yourself. List down the properties of rhombus, list down the properties of rectangles, list down the properties of square. You would see that a square would fit into the properties of rhombus and rectangles. But a rhombus would not fit into the properties of a square. For example, a square would want all the angles to be equal to 90 degrees. But a rhombus will not be able to satisfy that criteria. So all rhombuses will not be squares. Similarly, a square would want all the sides to be equal. A rectangle would not be able to satisfy that criteria. Therefore, all rectangles are not squares. All squares are not parallelograms. Now that is false, because all squares are parallelograms. So if you look at any square, now a parallelogram wants the opposite sides to be parallel, a square satisfies that. Parallelogram wants opposite angles to be equal, square satisfies that. Parallelogram wants the adjacent angles to be supplementary, square satisfies that. So basically a square would satisfy all the properties of parallelograms. Therefore all squares are actually parallelograms. All kites are rhombuses. Now this is again a false statement. That's because when you look at a rhombus has all sides equal. But when you look at a kite, it has only adjacent sides equal. So when you look at a kite, this is how the kite looks like. So only the adjacent sides are equal. But in case of a rhombus, all sides are equal. So we can say that a rhombus is a kite. A rhombus can behave like a kite. But a kite is not a rhombus, because a kite does not satisfy the property of rhombus. All rhombuses are kites. Exactly what I told you just now. So this would be true, because a kite, what does a kite want? Kite wants the adjacent sides to be equal. Now for rhombuses, the adjacent sides are equal, because here all sides are equal. So the adjacent sides are also equal. All parallelograms are trapeziums. Do you think that is true? All parallelograms are trapeziums? Think about it. A trapezium, what does it want? A trapezium wants at least one pair of sides to be parallel. That means one pair of sides should be parallel. Now what about a parallelogram? A parallelogram, does it have one pair of side parallel? Of course it has. In fact, it has both pairs parallel. So we can say that all parallelograms are trapeziums. Yes. All squares are trapeziums. So do you think so, that all squares are trapeziums? Now in a way, we would say that yes, all squares are trapeziums, because again, the trapezium, what does it want? It wants only one pair of sides to be parallel, and one pair of sides are parallel in case of a square. So this would also be true. Question number 2. Identify all the quadrilaterals that have 4 sides of equal length. Now when you talk about quadrilaterals with all sides equal, so all that we can think of, the first thing that comes to our mind is a square, where all sides are equal and all angles are also equal. So basically square would come here also, because in square you have all right angles. So square would fit into this criteria as well. 4 sides equal, another example would be rhombus. In rhombus also we have 4 sides equal. But in this case, the angles are not equal. Now, when you talk about 4 right angles, one could be square, the other could be rectangle, where all the angles are right angles, but their sides are not equal. Question number 3. Name the quadrilaterals whose diagonals bisect each other. Now, there are many such quadrilaterals. One such quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So, in parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other. You think of the special parallelograms. I mean, they also come under parallelogram anyways, because all rectangles are parallelogram, all squares are also parallelogram, all rhombuses are also parallelogram. So parallelograms are those where the diagonals bisect each other, where diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So this happens only in case of square and rhombus. Diagonals are equal. Now diagonals are equal. This happens again in case of square and rectangle. So we have proved each of these properties in detail some time back. So I think you can refer them if you want to know why this happens. Question number 4. ABC is a right angled triangle and O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. So right angle is this angle, angle B. So AC is the side opposite to the right angle. Explain why O is equidistant from A, B and C. Basically, you have to prove that this distance is equal to this distance. That is, OA is equal to OB is equal to OC. So this is what you have to basically prove. Now, in the diagram you see there are some extrapolated lines. So which is trying to show that if you have a right triangle and if you create another triangle on the other side, these two triangles together form a rectangle. So this has actually formed a rectangle. Now if you recall the properties of rectangle, what do we see? We see that in a case of a rectangles, the diagonals are equal in length and also the diagonals bisect each other. Now when we say that diagonals bisect each other, that would mean OA will be equal to OC and OB will be equal to OD. And when we say that diagonals are equal, that means BD will be equal to AC. Now considering this as well as this relation, we can very easily prove that OA is equal to OB is equal to OC. That's because when we say BD is equal to AC, what are we actually saying? We are trying to say that BD is equal to AC. So BD is nothing but BO plus OD and AC is nothing but AO plus OC. Right? Now, since we know that BO is equal to DO, therefore we can write, instead of DO, we can write BO. Similarly, here we know that AO is equal to OC. So, instead of OC, we can write AO. So, from this we can write 2BO is equal to 2AO, or we can say BO is equal to AO. So, from here we have proved that BO is equal to AO, and from here we saw that AO is equal to CO. Therefore, we can say that all these three are equal and therefore O is equidistant from points A, B and C. So with this we have reached towards the end of this lesson, and I hope that this lesson on quadrilaterals would have helped you. The most important tip that I would like to give you in terms of solving questions related to quadrilaterals is that focus more on the properties. When you are trying to solve any questions, try to understand the question properly and draw a diagram. That should be your first step when you try to solve a problem. Draw a diagram. Once your diagram is correct, and you remember the properties, I am sure you will be able to solve it correctly. So with this, I would conclude this lesson. So see you all in the next lesson.
I hope you found this video useful. If you really liked the video, do not forget to share it with your friends so that they can also benefit out of this video. I will meet you guys very soon with a new video on a new topic. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.